Hi, I'm Cece Péan, and this is Reclaiming Your Health. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Reclaiming Your Health. I am your host, Chef Cece Péan. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. As you can see, I'm not in the kitchen. I'm in my animal print chair, my jungle-themed room. But I just wanted to talk with you all tonight about the power of nutrition. And I wanted to specifically speak about the brain. I was speaking with somebody earlier today, and they were saying that there are so many people that they know that they're, at this age, I'm 51, and our parents are older, and people are transitioning. We are slowly, those of us in our 50s and 60s, we're becoming the elders. And people are passing on, and that's natural. No one can live forever. But there has been a huge increase in the people that are dealing with cognitive decline. And, as somebody who believes food is medicine, I have really been thinking about ways to talk to you all, to empower you with information to apply to your lives. Now, there are some people that would say, you know what? Dementia, Alzheimer's, it's in my family. I'm going to get it. I'm just going to live my life. And when it comes, it comes. And there may be a bit of truth to you cannot control what you're predisposed to. But I'm here to tell you that you can make decisions, daily decisions in your diet that can, at the very least, retard the progression of these diseases. So tonight, I just wanted to highlight foods that you can eat that will increase oxygen to your brain. They're antioxidant heavy. They're vitamin K rich. All of these things that have to do with brain health. So before I get to that, I do want to talk a little bit about dementia. And dementia is a broad term that is used to describe cognitive decline. And if anybody wants to jump in here and make any comments, please feel free to do so. If you're somebody who is dealing with this challenge and this journey, a loved one, I would love to hear your thoughts about this because I want you to learn, but I also want to be informed. And I'm sure that there's some information that you all may be able to share with me that we can incorporate. And as we talk about this and other things moving forward, we are including this information you've shared with us. So, like I said, dementia is a broad term used to describe symptoms that impair people's development. Did you know that females are more likely to get Alzheimer's, whereas men are more likely to get just dementia, a dementia type? Now, Alzheimer's is described as a chronic, long-term disease, whereas dementia can be brought about all kinds of different ways. It could be because of an injury, a head injury. It could be, shortage of oxygen to the brain. There's something called Lewy body dementia. There's so many different types. But what I want to talk with you about is the warning signs of dementia. And the reason I want to highlight this is because I think that as we go through life and our loved ones are near us, and I don't think that we use as much of a discerning eye as we need to. Oftentimes in retrospect, we'll say, I should have known something was going on. Chrissa Janelle Earl Farrell is one of my Facebook friends. I don't know if she's tuned in tonight. And I know a few weeks ago, she wrote something saying, I wonder, did I did she miss the signs? Was it when my mother was extremely upset about my son wearing a particular jacket? Things that just seemed kind of out of place and you dismiss them. Pay attention to those things, because one of the things that you will notice with people that have dementia is they're extremely agitated. They're extremely agitated. And sometimes it's a flip on their personality. Or if they're already somebody who's kind of a larger than life personality, they'll become even more so. So that is something to look out for. So here are 4 things that will come into play when somebody's dealing with dementia. Remember the broad term. A, language skills. 2, communication. 3, focus. And 4, reasoning and problem-solving abilities. If you're somebody who is in a home that your parents are immigrants and they came from another culture with another language, that is something that you will see. I remember with my mother-in-law, my husband's family is Haitian, and I remember as her dementia progressed, she went from speaking broken English to completely speaking in her mother tongue and speaking to me in her mother tongue, not remembering that I didn't understand it. Communication. You will find stammering is something that starts to happen quite a bit. There's the struggling for this word. That's number 2. Number 3 is focus. They have a hard time staying focused. And number 4 is reasoning and problem-solving abilities. They will make a statement about something that is unequivocally false, that it's not possible that it could be true, and they will go down with the plane that this thing is true. For example, the sky is filled with Dalmatian puppies. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, how would Dalmatian puppies, how are they in the sky? And the person will just stop and look at you. But there's a disconnect happening, okay? Subtle short-term memory changes, forgetting where they placed items, struggling to remember why they entered a particular room. Some of these things, let me say, if you're going through menopause, if you're going through, there's so many different things. So I don't want you to overreact when you hear these things, thinking that if you're going through these, you're probably early signs of dementia. Some of these things are broad, but I'm just listing them because I've walked into a room. I did that today and forgot what I was in the room for. Forgetting what they were supposed to do on any given day. Difficulty finding the right words. So that's the stammering and things like that. Changes in mood is a big one. You will start to notice that they become extremely agitated for seemingly nothing. And there's nothing you can do to calm them down. That's it. Apathy. Interesting. Apathy or listlessness, something that used to get them excited, something that would typically evoke a response from them, flat, nothing. Difficulty completing tasks, balancing a checkbook, keeping track of bills, following a recipe, playing a game that has a lot of rules. The synapses are not happening. It's just not happening. So confusion, of course. Difficulty following storylines, a failing sense of direction, repetition, struggling to adapt change, poor judgment. That's a big one. I know of someone who their father is trying to give away their inheritance to the nurse. There's just a constant disconnect. What causes dementia? And this is the nutritional component that I want to talk to you about. So there's an accumulation of specific types of protein in the brain. Lack of blood flow to the brain is major. And remember that one, put a pin in that one. Trauma to the head, vitamin deficiencies, and a reaction to certain medications. So what are the risk factors for dementia? Number 1 is age. As you get older, your body just doesn't operate like it used to do. So age is something that is directly in line with it. Number 2, sex and gender. Women are more likely to develop Alzheimer's, whereas men are more likely to get dementia, a form of dementia, such as Lewy body dementia. Family history. That's why I was talking about the predisposition. If one person or two people in your family had it, you need to be aware. You need to be very intentional and proactive about what you're eating, what you're drinking, your rest. You need to be going to the doctor and just staying on top of things. Okay. Vascular issues. And that's why I said put the pin in it, because the vascular issues are directly tied to diet and disease. Why do I say that? The risk factors, vascular issues. Number 1, high blood pressure. You can be predisposed to it, but diet and exercise can keep it at bay. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, diabetes. It's another inflammatory disease. And if you all remember, I've spoken to you in the past about the fact that many of the diseases that we're struggling with today are inflammatory diseases, and those diseases are directly related to diet. So you have diabetes, high blood pressure, diabetes. Number 3 is smoking. Okay. Number 4 is heart disease, another inflammatory disease that can be exacerbated by diet. And number 5, a blockage or shortage of blood flow to the brain, for example, from a stroke. Where do strokes come from? Strokes often come from high blood pressure. Where does high blood pressure come from? It comes from diet. Okay. Vitamin deficiencies is also something that increases your risk, specifically vitamin D and race. Latino and African American adults are at a greater risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. And one of these reasons may be because of inequities in healthcare. Okay. So here are the types of dementia. We've got Alzheimer's. It's the leading cause of dementia. Symptoms tend to progress gradually and cause slow decline, although it can progress more rapidly in some people. Number 2, vascular dementia. It occurs when there's not enough oxygen getting to the brain. So stroke is one possible cause. Anything that impedes blood flow, such as narrowed blood vessels, can contribute to this condition. Lewy body dementia. It's when there's an unusual amount of protein that collects in the brain. And this would cause you to have a problem processing information. And sometimes you'll get muscle stiffness and tremors. Brain damage due to injury or stroke. A good friend of mine is dealing with that now with her husband, who I don't even know that he's 60 years of age, but he had a stroke. And now he is dealing with this dementia. CTE, that's something that we hear a lot about with athletes, football players. That is the chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Frontotemporal dementia. It can affect your behavior and language abilities depending on what part of the brain is affected. We have 3 parts of our brain. So depending on what part is affected. Huntington's disease. It's an inherited progressive disease that affects the areas of the brain responsible for voluntary movements, among others. And this kicks in between 30 and 50 years of age. Agrophilic grain disease. This is a late onset neurodegenerative disease that can cause symptoms, mild cognitive impairment. And I cannot pronounce this last one. It's Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. It's a rare and rapidly progressive disease that causes mental deterioration. There is no treatment for this disease, which is caused by an infectious agent called a prion. Okay, so how do we combat this in real world time? What can we be putting in our bodies on the regular to make sure that our bodies and our brains are armed with this nutrient-dense nutrition that is healing our bodies from within and giving us everything that we need? I have a list of about 26 different food products, vegetables, etc., that can be used to combat this. All right. Number one, beets. Why beets? Beets are antioxidants, and antioxidants do what? They detoxify the blood. And when you've detoxified the blood, you have increased blood flow to the brains. So if you're somebody who likes beets, get your beets on. Now, I would not suggest you pickle them. If that's the only way you're going to do it, then that's how you're going to do it. But I would suggest you find a way to fall in love with beets. If you don't want to eat it, then you need to juice it. Beets, number one. Number two, avocado. One of my favorite things as a California girl. Avocado has monounsaturated fats, which are good fats. And it's high in folate and vitamin K. Vitamin K and folate improve cognitive function, brain functions. Okay? It helps with your concentration and your memory. Number three, broccoli. Folate and vitamin K are found in broccoli, and that affects your memory function and focus. It also has vitamin C and fiber, which is good to add to the mix. Number four, dark chocolate. Now, let me emphasize dark chocolate, not milk chocolate, not white chocolate. We're talking chocolate that is 70% pure chocolate. When you mess around with things like milk chocolate and white chocolate, it's full of junk and it's full of sugar. So you don't want that. Unfortunately, we're living in a time where dark chocolate is very easy to be found. So you buy a bar of dark chocolate, at least 70%, and you take off that little piece and you drop it in your mouth, and you are fighting brain disease by eating chocolate. The next one, salmon. It's high in omega-3. It reduces brain fog, and it improves memory and concentration. Okay? The next one, walnuts. And I love this one because I have heard, and I'm sure you have heard as well, if you look at a fruit or a vegetable or a nut and it resembles something, oftentimes that's what it's really good for. And if you look at a walnut looks like a brain. Okay? I am Furaha. I'm going to do a dish with walnuts. Sasa, by the way. So walnuts they're high in minerals, vitamins, and antioxidants. You're going to keep hearing antioxidants. That's a recurring theme. And it improves memory, alertness, concentration, and eating walnuts regularly can reduce the risk of Alzheimer's. I don't know what that sound is. Probably my fan. Okay, next, blueberries. Blueberries are an antioxidant powerhouse. They protect your brain from toxins, degeneration, and stress. Now, let me say, blueberries are only good if they are organic. You do not want to buy blueberries or strawberries or any kind of berry that is traditionally grown, because they are going to be laden with pesticides. So if you're going to eat berries, you're going to need to bite the bullet and spend that extra money and make sure they are organic. There's no way around that. Organic blueberries only. The next one is turmeric. Some of you may have heard the term curcumin. Curcumin is a powerful antioxidant as well. It is an anti-inflammatory. And if you remember what I was saying earlier, is that high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, and heart disease are all inflammatory diseases. So if you're taking something that's anti-inflammatory, it's undoing that damage, okay? So you want to do turmeric. And there's so many different delicious things you can do with turmeric. And I promise you, I'm going to start incorporating these things into recipes so you all can see real world, real time ways to fight cognitive decline. So one of my favorite things to drink is golden milk. What is golden milk? Golden milk is plant milk. I usually either use oat milk or almond milk. I use a heaping spoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, because black pepper is needed to activate the curcumin and make it bioavailable, meaning that your body is able to process this good stuff. So you get some nice warm milk, plant milk. You put a heaping teaspoon of curcumin in there, a pinch of black pepper. You can use a little bit of sweetener if you want to, stevia or something like that. And you stir that up. Some people use a frother for it, and you drink that. It is so delicious, and it's fighting cognitive decline. So turmeric is a great thing to use, and I will be incorporating these in recipes. The next thing is rosemary. It's an herb. Rosemary protects from neurodegeneration, which is Alzheimer's. And it has carnosic acid, which is an antioxidant that guards against chemicals and free radicals. So you've heard me use the term antioxidant, and you've heard me use the term free radicals. Antioxidants fight free radicals. What are free radicals? They're everywhere. Free radicals are everywhere in our environment. They're coming through the vents in your house. If you're in your garage, they're coming from the exhaust from the garage. If you're walking outside and somebody had something blowing at some point, they're everywhere. Free radicals are everywhere. Antioxidants arrest the free radicals. Free radicals in your system create disease. That is why it is so important for you to have an antioxidant-rich diet, because your antioxidant-rich diet arrests the damage that free radicals can do. Okay? And you all are free to go Google antioxidant-rich foods and eat those with reckless abandon, because they're so good for you. Okay, rosemary, the next thing, I'm just going to read off the next few. Coconut oil. Coconut oil is something that you use in moderation, but use it. Swap out, whatever oils that you would typically use, swap it out and use a tablespoon or a teaspoon of coconut oil. And if you're concerned about the fat, you can always use the coconut oil spray. Okay, so you're controlling the amount. Tomatoes. Tomatoes are great. Okay. Slice up a tomato. You can sprinkle a little bit of salt on it if you want to, or you can, use some other alternative. I have a salt that is made from sea vegetables that's really, really good. So tomatoes, make a huge salad and chop up those tomatoes. That helps fight neurodegenerative disease as well. Pumpkin seeds are great. These are all great things for a salad. Sage, another herb. Sage is really good. Oranges, green tea. I have my glasses on, you all, because I'm a little vain because I don't have any makeup on, and that's why I keep going like this. Whole grains, kale, soy, ginseng, extra virgin olive oil, lion's mane mushrooms. So I have listed a few things that you all can eat very easily. You can do a salad with your tomatoes, with your pumpkin seeds. You can have a nice crusty piece of whole grain bread on the side. You can make your salad with some massaged kale. You can chop up some tofu if you want to, or some edamame, which are soybeans. You can do that. You can make a simple dressing with some extra virgin olive oil and some fresh herbs. Come on. The power is in your hand. Okay? I want to encourage you all to make the connection between diet and disease. I want you all to appreciate that food is medicine. I want you all to appreciate that the Master Creator has given us everything in nature we could possibly need. Now, we've been living these lifestyles for years, so it's not a quick fix overnight, but there are differences you can make in your outcomes, your health outcomes, if you are intentional about what you're cooking, what you're buying, what you're eating, all of those things, okay? We have the power. Let food be your medicine. So let's go over this list again. Beets, avocado, broccoli, dark chocolate, salmon, walnuts, organic blueberries, turmeric, rosemary, coconut oil, tomatoes, pumpkin seeds, sage, oranges, green tea, whole grains, kale, soy, ginseng, extra virgin olive oil, and lion's mane mushrooms. If you can't figure out some delicious dishes from those items, I'll help you next week. That's what we're going to do. I was talking with Stan earlier, and what I want to be sure to do is to not only make suggestions, but show you all how to easily incorporate these items in your diet for greater health. Specifically, we're talking about brain health, but greater health in general. People of color are dying as a result of inflammatory diseases, and inflammatory diseases are directly tied to diet. And I get it. The world that we're living in now is so incredibly stressful. There is so much that is going on from left and right. Sometimes the only thing you want to do at the end of the day is cozy up to something that is comforting, and it gets those serotonin, it shoots those serotonin levels going, and you're all warm and fuzzy, and you're eating this bowl of something, or you're eating this burger and you're eating these fries because it's making you feel better momentarily, but it's not good for you, and it's taking you in the opposite direction. So what we're going to do is we are going to fall in love with eating food that is good for us. And let me tell you, I have shared this before, you can retrain your palate. You can. Every 7 days, the taste buds regenerate. You can retrain your palate. And good food, healthy food can be delicious. It's not punishment. If you are somebody who is a Christian, or if you're somebody who believes in a higher power, get on your knees, ask the Lord to give you the strength to take a different approach at life with your diet. Ask him to give you strength. This appetite is a stronghold. It is a stronghold, and it's so difficult because we have to eat. We have to eat for sustenance. But what has happened is so many of us, myself included, have abused our body with food to the point that we're struggling with all these issues. And that is not what God intended ever for the food that he provided us with. So if you all will join with me, we're going to move forward, and we're going to make decisions, and I'm going to be cooking dishes, and I'm going to be sharing information with you that will arm you for your optimal health with the foods that the Master Creator has provided for us. Okay? Thank you for joining me tonight. I am sincere in this. I pray that we all together will make a difference in our lives and eat healthier and live more abundant lives. See you all next week. Bye-bye.